wanted to see what my roof looks like. So I thought I'd just spend the first 30 seconds showing you all the stuff. Yeah, so this is the roof. 6th floor of this hotel apartment complex. I don't really know what all this is, just garbage and junk that we can't be bothered to throw away. And a bunch of potatoes and the inside, and that's where I come from. And there's some washing machines for the some of the workers here, some water storage up there, and then my roof of roofs. Alright, so enough about the roof. Let's get started, and welcome to another episode of the Saudi Arabia coronavirus vlog. Today is Tuesday, April 7th. It is almost 5:35 p.m. And let's get into some of the news and updates in the kingdom today. So what I've been noticing is that now, instead of being once a day updates, the Ministry of Health is updating their website, and the Saudi Gazette is updating its Twitter throughout the day with new cases as they come in or as they're reported. So as a result, each day might have a slightly different number of cases than I report, because I get the figures at about 5 o'clock every day, and sometimes, you know, at 6 o'clock, 7:30, more cases are reported, and the official total for the day goes up. So my total for today, as in the last 24 hours, from 5 p.m. yesterday, the 6th, to today, 5 p.m., April 7th, we had a record-setting day here, 272 more cases in the last 24 hours, bringing the total confirmed cases in Saudi Arabia up to 2,795. We also had 64 more recoveries, bringing that total to 615, and 3 more deaths, bringing that count to 41. The world had 74,000 more cases in the last 24 hours, bringing the world confirmed total number of COVID-19 infections to about 1,360,000. And worldwide there are about 77,000 deaths and about 285,000 recovered. Okay, so I did notice that today on Twitter the Ministry of Health did post the cities for the cases that were confirmed yesterday, but I have today's in the last 24 hours anyway, the locations of some of these 272 new cases. We had 84 in Riyadh, 46 in Jeddah, 51 in Mecca, 38 Medina, 1 more in Taif, 4 in Dammam, 6 more in Abha, which is very close to where I am, in Khamis. Khamis Mushait had 6 more cases, and Qatif had 13 more cases. So things are getting more serious. It's been announced last night, I think, that there is now a 24-hour curfew in the following cities. So we already had Mecca and Medina on 24-hour curfew. Now we have Riyadh, Tabuk, Dammam, Dhahran, and Hafuf, and also on Jeddah Governorate, the Taif Governorate, the Qatif Governorate, and Khobar Governorate. So if you add up the population for all of these cities or governorates, or whatever you want, it's like what is a governorate? It's basically the city and then a little bit around the city. So all told, we have about 18,160,000 people living in Saudi Arabia who are under 24-hour curfew. That means they cannot leave their homes except to go to hospitals or other emergency services and to get food. So business is not going as usual in those places, and even in some of them, like some districts in Jeddah and Mecca and Medina, I think you're not even allowed to leave the district of your city. So if you wanted to go across town to a different supermarket or something, you're not allowed to, I think. So travel has really been clamped down in order to stop the spread of this coronavirus. And you look at what other countries have done, and Saudi Arabia has done more than most other countries in combating the coronavirus, and that's great. But the cases still keep going up, and people need to stay home. Wear your masks, wash your hands, and stay home. I think because let's go back a little bit. So Taif, which is a city near Mecca, was put on 24-hour curfew after it had 37 cases. It doesn't have that many more now. It's got 40 something cases now. And Khamis Mushait, where I live, has exactly 30 cases right now, and we got another 6 today. So the situation is getting worse in Khamis, and I believe that Khamis and Abha will be the next 2 cities put on 24-hour curfew. And so therefore I won't be able to go out into the city and walk around when that happens. Of course, the rest of the kingdom has a curfew already. From 7 p.m. till 6 a.m. we're not allowed to be outside except for emergencies. And I have not been leaving the house much at all. I go to the grocery store about once a week, and that's pretty much my life. I would like to this weekend, Saturday or Friday, if there is no 24-hour curfew yet, I would actually like to do a little walkthrough and show you what it looks like on the ground in some of these places on streets if we don't have a curfew. So you have that to look forward to, probably Friday or Saturday. All right, let's talk about some more news. Oh, wait a minute. So of those, I keep getting ahead of myself. Of those more than 18 million people who are on 24-hour curfew, that makes up about 53% of the total population of Saudi Arabia. So more than half the country is on 24-hour lockdown. And hopefully with all this curfew and social distancing, that we'll be able to cut these infected numbers down. Saudi people and other people who live in Saudi, it's a very social country. People like to hang out. They go to restaurants together. They like to. They're not going to restaurants now, but they like to hang out. They like to drink coffee and tea and go to the markets and share meals together. So and they're also very active at night. Like 9, 10, 11 p.m. People like to go out. So these curfews, it's running contrary to their nature. But it's necessary, so I support that. I got another email from the United States Embassy today, and they said that there's another flight leaving Riyadh on April 10th. That is on Wednesday, Thursday, on Friday morning, or at 10 a.m. I think. And tickets here, the last 3 flights, they said tickets started at 6,000 SAR. That's about 1,600 US dollars, and ran up to 16,000. But now they're saying this flight tickets are going to start at about 7,000 SAR, which is an extra $130 or so. So looks like it's probably going to cost me a little bit more money to get home when it's time for me to leave in 5.5, 6 weeks. Hopefully we will have a handle on this coronavirus by then, and they will open up mainstream flights internationally to leave anyway. I don't expect that there will be many flights coming into the kingdom, and I'm not sure. I work with a lot of people who are going to stay here and work for another year for this company, or who are going to go to different cities in the kingdom and continue working there. I don't know if they'll be allowed in, so I don't know if they should leave or not. My instinct is to say just stay put. You're safer here than in America or UK or Canada, wherever you're from. So if you're watching this, anyone, not just the people I work with, but anyone who's working in Saudi Arabia and thinking about going back home for the summer, if you want to come back to Saudi in the late summer or autumn, I think it's just better to stay here. Speaking of flights, There are flights being arranged for Saudis to come back to the kingdom. Supposedly, the tourism ministry has booked more than 11,000 hotel rooms to quarantine Saudis and the citizens in when they come in for 2 weeks at no expense, I believe, which is very nice and very generous and much more than you could expect from the American government with respect to self-quarantining. And I sort of wonder, you know, all these flights, they'll be coming from various parts of the world. You know, might even be, you know, America, Canada, Egypt, Australia, India, wherever the overseas Saudis are. That's a lot of flights to come in. 11,000 people. We're looking at max 500 people in a flight. I know it'd certainly not be that many for most of these destinations. So we're looking at dozens of flights, and I figure for those flights to be profitable, there must also be a flight leaving Saudi, because the airline, of course, wants to make money, as much money as they can. So if they're going to run a flight from, let's say, London to Riyadh, the plane's got to get to London. So I figure there's going to be a sort of tit-for-tat, one-for-one, hopefully, in flights that are allowing people to leave Saudi as well as to re-enter if you are coming here. As far as I know, it's only available to Saudi citizens. I don't think they're working on letting any foreigners in right now. Maybe they are if you're married or something to a Saudi. I'm not really sure. Okay. All right, last thing. Dr. Muhammad Ali Abdelali, a Ministry of Health spokesman, he said that the government has ruled out the herd immunity strategy, which is a very smart move. The herd immunity is a dumb plan. It was for, I don't know, a few days or a week. It was the strategy that the United Kingdom was employing, and that backfired very spectacularly, I think. And even right now, as you may know, Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, is in the intensive care unit in London, and he's on a ventilator. Honestly, I shouldn't say this. Honestly, I do think that he's going to be the first major death to the coronavirus. I don't think he's going to survive. I think it might serve as a wake-up call to the rest of the world, and especially the world politicians, that they should be taking this incredibly seriously. So I hope that he lives, of course. My thoughts and prayers are with him. But there is not a very good rate of survival in England anyway when someone goes onto ventilation. So that's all I have for this episode. If you have a question or a comment that you want me to address in a future video, please let me know in the comments below. And on the next episode, inshallah, I will answer them. So thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, all the rest. If you want to track the cases for the coronavirus in Saudi Arabia, I put a link in the description of this video, as I do with all of these recent videos, that will help you see in real time a map of all the locations in Saudi Arabia where you can track the number of cases and the number of deaths and the number of recoveries, number of active cases, number of cases per day. A lot of helpful statistics on there. It's great that the government's put that up so that people can track these cases. So thanks for watching, everybody, and have a beautiful day. Stay home, wash your hands, and relax.